writing all of Shinobi history was really stupid too. Now, like I said, Kaguya doesn't need to show up, but personally, I really like her design, and I think that given the ending I'm going for, where the Ten Tails breaks out of Madara and Naruto and Sasuke don't actually beat him, it would be a lot more satisfying for there to be an actual threatening enemy that isn't only defeated because of the fact that they're unable to control their power. Naruto and Sasuke would then go to take Kaguya out. No perfect Susanoo on Kakashi's behalf or any of that. Sakura could still get involved, and Kakashi could still too, considering he still has access to Obito's Sharingan since Madara never popped it out. Though I think I would restrict Kaguya's abilities, keep her from being a fucking dimension hopper. That way she can't trap Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, and Kakashi in another dimension so that the Sage of Six Paths has to summon every Kage ever from the dead to use a summoning jutsu to bring them back. Like, that was really dumb. Again, Kaguya doesn't have to show up. I just think that it would feel better as a reader, and it would make the ending feel less incomplete if after the Ten Tails broke free from Madara, we had an actual threat. You know, it would just feel really empty if Naruto and Sasuke didn't really get the win there, and then nothing else followed. Regardless, directly after the last antagonist, Naruto and Sasuke had their little scuffle. Though Sasuke wouldn't have the extra insight he received from Hashirama, he would still probably have his resolve shifted a bit, thanks to his conversation and meeting with Itachi. He could also have a lengthy conversation with the Sage of Six Paths, asking him to tell him the truth about everything that's gone on throughout all of Shinobi history, since if the Sage of Six Paths is capable of summoning himself to the real world, despite the fact that he died like 1,000 years ago, then surely he'd be able to tell Sasuke about a bunch of major historical developments in the Shinobi world. This would lead Sasuke to develop his plan, but in my opinion, Sasuke's plan shouldn't be to unite the world against him, but rather just to rule as an authoritarian dictator with an iron fist. A secondary consequence of doing this could be to unite everybody against him. I'm pretty sure that's what he was going for in the original manga, as a matter of fact, but I think much more emphasis should be placed on the fact that he plans to snuff out all crime, sort of like Kira from Death Note, since nobody alive would have any chance of taking him out. Naruto and Sasuke have their final battle, then the series comes to an end. Madara and Obito don't get redeemed. They don't fucking be like, well, you guys were right all along. The infinite Tsukuyomi doesn't turn people into Zetsu. And I think that after Naruto becomes Hokage, it shouldn't be established that the world has achieved true peace. He's still trying to search for the answer, and even though the five great nations have allied with one another, there still need to be problems brewing amongst them. This would give Naruto and the rest of the characters a good chance to reflect on Madara's goal and ask themselves if the infinite Tsukuyomi really was all that bad. As for ships and stuff, I'm not really gonna get into all of that. Personally, I would have liked to see Sasuke kill Sakura, but I don't really mind the two of them getting together in the end either. Also, the series should actually end here. I'd really prefer if Boruto didn't have...
Is the game worth coming back to? Listen. It's a Monday afternoon, 4 p.m. You come into a Twitch stream and you ask somebody, is World of Warcraft worth playing? The truth is, and you don't have to admit it, but you can just acknowledge it. You have nothing better to do. You probably don't have a job. Probably don't go to school. Maybe you play Fortnite. Maybe your name is, xkilla _TTV _YT. It's not going anywhere. You might as well play WoW. Call it a day. Just chill out. WoW is the worst game ever, and it's the best game out there. You have nothing better to do. That's one of the things that always has kept me in the WoW. Because I ask myself, what else are you going to do, fucking idiot? And the answer is always the same. Nothing. Fucking nothing. That's all you can do. It's unfortunate. It's the best game out there, man. Like, I've played a lot of games. And I'll be honest, I love a lot of games. I mean, there's a lot of games I really like. Like, I'm gonna be honest, like, this might sound really stupid, but I genuinely sometimes think about my first experience playing Dark Souls 1, and I just, like, reminisce on it because it was so good. Like, honestly, it's probably the best game I've played since WoW. Like, it was honestly, like, I still can't get over how good Dark Souls 1 is. And I don't know, like, I want to talk about it with somebody, you know? And it's like one of those games where, like, you just have to, like, you have to talk about, oh shit. Hey, you fucking idiot, you're almost, oh wait, that's a pet. Like, I just want to talk about it and, like, let somebody know, like, what it was. Because there was something really special about that game. And, you know, you guys know I'm not, like, a big single-player game guy. But something about Dark Souls, it really just kind of, it was it. That was just it, man. Like, I honestly, in, like, a way, I can't explain it. But it was just, like, such a good game. That's, like, the only exception that I have to, like, just, like, thinking WoW is, like, the best. Like, I like Dark Souls 3, it was okay. But truthfully, I think Dark Souls 1 was a lot better. I just felt like it felt like more of a complete experience. And you know, not just like a game where you just go from, like, one place, one zone to another. It felt like you like, really kind of went into, like, a fantasy world. And I really enjoyed that a lot. What are the chances of Asmongold playing Devil May Cry 5? Right now, I'm not planning on that. But I do kind of want to play Devil May Cry 5 because I was a kid whenever I played Devil May Cry 3, and it was, like, one of my favorite games. So I'd kind of like to play that, but it's not anything I'm planning on right now. So, I mean, like, Sekiro is, like, the main game that I'm thinking about right now. Are you going to play God of War? Probably not, no. I mean, like, as I said, I'm not, like, a huge, like, I don't know, I just don't really think that, like, single-player, like, story-driven games work that well on, like, a stream. And maybe they do for other people. And I'm happy for them, but for me, I don't really think that's, like, that's not really my thing, man.
Bo internet padł idealnie, jak Diggoś wszedł. Ja już w ogóle panika, no ale myślę, dobra, za chwilę zacznie działać. No tak siedzę 10 minut, 15 nie działa, nie? Co się dzieje, kurde. Co? Tak, a Madzia podsłuchuje tutaj. No dzwoniłem. No bo nie działało długo, no to się ten... Żebym ja się nie obraził na żonę zaraz. No ale kurde, facet mi mówi, że awaria jest na ulicy tutaj Kijowskiej i Mazowieckiej i może być o 22 naprawione w ogóle coś tam. Ja mówię, co gada do mnie. Ale naprawili na szczęście już szybciej, kurde. Mówi facet, że już tam widzę, że teraz naprawiają. Ale też mnie wkurzył w sumie, bo nagle tak urwał, po jednym słowie się rozłączył, nie powiedział nic do widzenia ani nic, no co to za obsługa klienta, kurde. Trochę lipa, tak, nie? Się zachowywać. Co to ma być? No ale na szczęście działa to, więc... Już mnie straszy, kurde, że 22 będę czekał.
And I know that might disappoint some people, but I just don't really think, like, any of that has gone very well for me. And I'd like to focus on playing, like, more multiplayer and, like, sandbox-esque games, right? Yeah, I mean, like, if it works for other people, cool. But, like, I don't know. I feel like I've had enough. It's like every single-player game that I've played that's, like, really narrative-driven has also driven me insane. And I don't really know if I'd want to. I guess we're gonna fight this guy too. That's fine. On hardest, it's way harder than Dark Souls. Dark Souls 1 isn't hard. Like, for everybody that, like, thought, like, whenever I originally started playing Dark Souls, I assumed that, like, okay, this is gonna be, like, some super, super hard game that, you know, just took, like, a huge, grueling amount of time to defeat. It wasn't really that hard. I mean, it really wasn't that difficult. I'd say Dark Souls 3 was a lot harder than Dark Souls 1. Like, Dark Souls 3 made Dark Souls 1 look like a joke. Like, even Ornstein and Smog, or like Smog, or whatever, however the hell you fucking pronounce his name, that boss was a joke compared to like half of the bosses in Dark Souls 3. Let's see, what are the other hard bosses in Dark Souls 1? Manus? Like, Manus is kind of hard, but like, he's mainly hard, like, at least to me, because it's hard to see what the hell he's doing in that room. You have to like turn up the visibility. And let's see, so Manus, Calamete's a joke, Artorias is really easy. I sucked, okay? Artorias isn't hard, it was my fault that it took that long. Let's see. Yeah, 4 hours Artorias. That stream, man, I will never forget that. I'll be honest, I will never forget the Artorias stream. And that is a good and a bad thing at the same time. Nameless King? Well, yeah, I think that's like a good comparison. Like, Nameless King is infinitely harder than anything in Dark Souls 1. And Nameless King was an easy boss. Like, after you know what he's gonna do, he's very, very easy. I would say, like, probably the more difficult bosses in Dark Souls 3, I thought Midir was really hard. The dragon, right? The dragon I thought was a really, really hard boss. Because he, like, moved in a way that was kind of hard to predict, unless you really had played a lot. Let's see, Freed? Freed was only hard because it had 3 phases. Freed was a very easy fight, too. I almost one-shot it, but I psyched myself out, and I played like shit at the end. And the 3rd phase is the only phase that's like genuinely difficult.